There was this traumatic event quite a few years ago. I've been part of Rehearsals for Life, which is a theatre group which Abigail Leader leads. And part of that is we come up with stories as part of our workshops. So this story was about that event, but it was hanging on, like languishing on my laptop for 3 years before I actually gave up on it. And then Abigail was like, why don't you try and write it for Intertwined? And just that night, it came flowing out of me. I don't know where I got the inspiration, the energy, the motivation. The human brain is peculiar. I mean, we often think of the mind as independent of the body. But in the end, the mind is still mired in the physiology of the brain. Is the connection between two humans essentially a connection between two minds? If so, what does one mind owe another? What is the culpability of one human to another? These are my thoughts as I reflect back on the day that I had my last conversation with a neurotraumatic, fully paralyzed colleague back in 2018. When I first walked into that room that day and saw his emaciated body on the bed, my heart sank. I expected him to look much better. He was looking like he had back in 2015 when all of this began. And so my mind flashed back to that first week of this ordeal. The doctor looked me straight in the eye and said, he will die by tomorrow. And if by some miracle he doesn't, he would wish he did. I remember trying to find a wall to lean on, but the hospital hallway felt too wide, as if I was too far away from any surface that could support me, including for some reason the floor. I looked back at the end of the hallway past the doors of the ICU to my wife and others who were all waiting to hear. What would I say? I can't possibly be the messenger for, let alone the carer for a brain-dead colleague. In December 2015, one of my close colleagues at the university I taught in was in a fatal bike accident. He didn't die at site. He did, however, suffer severe head trauma and was admitted to a local hospital by bystanders. What ensued over the following days, weeks, and months was an endless barrage of care shifts, doctor's appointments, food deliveries, fund management for a close group of his colleagues, while he went from intensive care to regular ward and eventually to a care home, from where 2 years later he was never to return. I snapped back to reality, and as I was walking over to him, I saw a sparkle of recognition in his eyes. I mean, the nurse had said that lately he'd been expressing himself with his eyes and facial gestures. I was ecstatic. I mean, this is like progress. This is real progress. Shantanu Lodh was a brilliant art teacher and one of the oddest, wackiest characters I've ever known. He was always going on and on about Korean lumbar support mattresses, astrophysics, and Mondrian. Extremely well-read and with a penchant for intellectual conversations, he would often hang out with us, the architecture faculty, and make fun of us for our obsession with drawing and technical precision. His mind was beautiful. And this latest development meant he could come back. All our efforts at saving him were worth it. Do you recognize me? I asked. He blinked once, which meant yes. Is my name Manas? Yes. Are they taking care of you at the care home? Yes. Are they nice to you? Yes. But it must be boring. Yes. How bad's the pain? Is the pain very bad? Yes. Where is it? Is it everywhere? Yes. Have you been feeling it this whole time? Yes. Wait, do you remember everything? Yes. The accident? The hospital? Yes. How is this possible? We were told he has barely any cognition and no brain function. No, 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 no. Suddenly, I was thrown back into the same hallway from 2 years ago. All of the decisions we had taken for him screaming back at me inside my head, a flood of flashbacks. On day one, we decided to shift him to another hospital with the best neurosurgeons in town so that he could have the best chance of surviving the night. On day two, the doctors asked us if he had family who could decide whether to pull him off life support. And despite not having access to his funds, despite not being able to contact his ex-wife, we decided we will not pull the plug. On day 15, we got him a private nurse and a private room so that he could be protected from secondary infections. On day 60, when the hospital kicked him out, we got him into a care home for specialized care for neurotraumatic patients so that he could have the best chance of actual recovery. So many decisions, and all for him. And then I asked him the only question I could think of. So are you saying we should have let you die? He blinked once.